What's going on, y'all? Now, you may ask yourself from time to time, including now, what is a beautiful, handsome, basically famous, very popular, beautiful, famous producer slash artist like myself doing in a Hyundai with a pink computer kind of in the middle of nowhere here? The answer is simple. I want to make a beat. I have some problems though. I have no ability to connect this computer via Bluetooth to the car stereo. I have no speakers in here. I wouldn't be able to show you anything if I had headphones in. I also forgot an aux cable. So what do I have? I have a computer with the little computer speakers, and I want to make a beat. Now, why would I want to make a beat just in the car like this? For one, I've got some time to kill, and this is what I want to do. It's a lot of fun for me. Another reason is something that most of y'all probably don't know, and that is that I have a song called Closer right here. Am I any closer? This beat for this chorus and all of the instrumentation I made in the car on the way back from Austin at night on my old MacBook. I think John and Arthur were with me at the time, or maybe just John, I can't remember, but I made this beat in the car and it ended up in a song. It actually ended up pretty good. Now, I really only could use the musical typing that they have here in GarageBand and Logic, and yeah, that's what I did. I made a whole song just using the laptop like this on the way home through the car stereo, and I'm gonna try to do that again if it's good enough, only if it's good enough. I'm gonna bounce these WAV files, or actually I don't even know if GarageBand does WAV, MP3, whatever. I'm gonna bounce these files to FL Studio at home into my full rig and take this song and make it something good and potentially release it to y'all. Without further ado, let's jump into GarageBand. All right, so the first thing I had to do here was set my tempo. So I went ahead with a 130, and I guess because I'm here and literally this is what I have to work with, I'm gonna record in the key of C major and 4/4 time signature. That's just gonna make it the easiest. I'm gonna come up with a quick melody just using this EP. And now it's raining, which I don't mind rain, but that means I can't hear a single thing because I'm just going through the speakers on this computer, which are not loud, and I'm trying to do like intricate stuff. Not gonna happen. This might be trash, y'all. I created a little bit of a chord structure with this Rhodes, added a little bit of drive, some chorus, reverb, tiny bit of tremolo, and I'm gonna build on top of this. All right, so we added in the piano, and all I did with this piano, at least through GarageBand, was add in a pretty harsh compressor right here. No delay, a little bit of ambiance, and a pretty heavy reverb. I love a good compressed, reverbed piano, so here's what we got so far. So let me show you what we got so far. I just have 4 tracks on here right now. The like Rhodes EP, a Steinway Grand, all compressed, a like synth ARP that I kind of have going through, which is actually kind of like cinematic, almost like Stranger Things sounding to me. So we'll see if I leave that in there, but I kind of like it. It's got some intensity to it that I could hear like a Weekend style song on there. So we'll kind of see where that goes. And then I have this like high synth, just like a plugged synth on the top range here. Here she is. You could probably barely hear some of the stuff that's happening in there, but that's okay. We'll hear it later on in a better version of what's going on in GarageBand. But yeah, that's what we got so far. Okay, so after further deliberation, I decided to drop this tempo from 130 all the way down to 100, which is quite a bit slower, but after going through some different beats and loops and stuff, in FL Studio I'll probably create my own beat, but just to kind of get an idea of what I wanted, I think it just sounds a lot more vibey at a slower tempo, where I can add in a little bit busier drum like this. So I can almost imagine, I mean, I'm gonna beatbox, it'll sound stupid, but you know, something like that. All right, y'all, so we've about run out of time here. I've got a few tracks laid out that when I get home at some point, I'm gonna dump into FL and either recreate based on the structure that I've built here, or just use that actual MP3 stemmed out over on FL so I can actually build out a full track that maybe we actually do something with. How's that sound? Sounds great. Yeah, it does. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. All right, y'all, as you can see, I have the tracks bounced into FL Studio now from GarageBand. They're just raw right now. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna recreate the Rhodes track that I have, just because I'm gonna be able to do it much better here on FL Studio. Hopefully maybe same melody, add to it a little bit. I'm gonna keep this kind of running bass line that I have in there, and then I'm going to redo that piano, same chord structure, because I actually really like it. It's kind of mysterious. And we're gonna build from there, see what happens. So a few things. I decided to take this hypno bass that I had from GarageBand, bring it up an octave, slather it in reverb to create more of a high melody, like a shimmer, more so than like a really driving, like retro bass line. Because obviously, with the style of music I make, I'm going to turn this more into a kind of a lo-fi hip-hop thing, and then added in the piano here on my own, just created it through FL keys instead of doing the track that I had in GarageBand, and it sounds like this now. We're gonna start breaking this up, adding that EP again, and kind of mess with the tempos and stuff like that until we find a really good feel for a song. So there we are with the EP built in. Now I'm going to try something with the piano and with this, I guess now, high synth line that we have in there that used to be a bass. And we're going to see how it goes. I think it's going to really change just the dynamic of the track that we have so far. Let's see. Alright, y'all, massive change to the melodic bit that was a hypno bass that now is kind of my main melody for the song. What I did is I totally changed the rhythm of it by slicing it up, finding a real specific part of the sample that I really like, lengthening that out so it's not as much, it's really kind of slow and drawn out and mysterious and nasty sounding. Slathered that in some reverb, a bunch of chorus, kind of set it behind the piano. Now with the piano, I compressed it a bit more, darkened it, kind of messed with the EQ a little bit, and at the same time took out any of the high melodic parts and just did the low octave on like the Steinway Grand. That way it's not as busy, and I can add in more vocal, more synth and drums and stuff that I think will add more texture than I need the piano to. And it now sounds like this. This is going to be virtually unrecognizable from what I did on GarageBand, but that's what's so fun about this process. You can take an idea, you can take a sound, and even use that same foundation, that same structure to build something that's completely different, that's more inspired, that now that I have time to kind of sit on it and hear it, I think it's going to be something dope. We're going to keep building. Alright, so check this out. I just brought in this beautiful vocal sample that I got from Splice. It's actually a combination of 3 different vocal samples. I've chopped some different parts up, rearranged them, but I want y'all to hear this. It's gorgeous.
No matter if the world is falling down, if the world is falling, if the world is falling down.
I'm thinking of starting with that kind of as the chorus, and then dropping, adding some drums and go straight into a really deep verse right there. This is gonna be pretty sick.
the world is falling, if the world is falling down.
Hell yeah. Alright y'all, so I'm going to work on this a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera off, take a little break, grab a snack, and I might get back to this tomorrow, give it a fresh set of ears, and kind of see what else we can come up with. I'm really liking the vibe of this. I think this is something that I could release, so I'll probably start writing some of the verse so I can start arranging a bit more of the song and build out some of the parts, working around the vocals a little bit. It's feeling pretty good. So I'll be back another day to finish up the song, and I'll talk to y'all then. What's going on, y'all? So it is now a different day than the video you just saw before this, but we are finally done writing, recording, mixing, mastering, producing the entire song. It's called The Rant, and big news, it is out on all platforms right now. So you know what that means. Go stream this shit.
Back to my rant, already started, so don't tell me I can't. I'm too fired up right now to make this shit bland, so I'ma keep launching these words and I just hope that they land. I'll tell you right where I stand. Seems like the world is falling out.